Hello there, I just wanted to show you guys how I embroidered this t-shirt for my sister's birthday present. I'm using the Janome embroidery Memory Craft 300E. It's got the little card at the side. I had already done the little geisha, but I felt like it needed something more. So I just wanted to add a little bit more detail. I would also suggest always starting out with a fresh bobbin because you never know how much thread you're going to go through with a certain design, so you do not want to run out midway. Because I'm using a large spool of thread, I like that it's thicker. I've got that little extra spool that you can use to stand thread up because otherwise it doesn't fit. Once you've chosen your design, you know the size you're going to be doing, so I just fused the correct size, obviously a little bit larger to fit the hoop, and I chose a woven fusible webbing because I like that it's softer under a t-shirt, it doesn't have that stiffness. Once I knew that the fusing was fitting in my hoop beautifully, I wanted to make sure that the hoop was on the right place. So they give you this perfect little frame where you can really check, and it gives you dots for the starting point, so you can really have a good guide and gauge as to where it's going to sit. That's my little chosen floral pattern I was going to use. And sewing it on before you start, make sure you put down the best foot. Now you can see there quickly that I have chosen a design that has 4 colours, which means you've got to change the thread every step of the way when the machine stops. I love the gold on gold because it just really amplifies the style that you're going for without taking too much detail into it. Now what I'm doing here is just stopping it because I feel like it pulls a little bit too much if you just keep going with some designs. Just loosen the thread a bit. Now this was my first time trying to get a design symmetrical. I've never had to do this. I'm quite new to this embroidery machine, and I just kind of chose to look at the closest point and the lowest point and just make sure it was straight. So I just looked at the little graph here and you can see where the squares land in comparison. Now this kind of thing can ruin your day. You'd be so bummed if you sewed that and then saw that was flipped down. So just a little pointer, always check the back before you start sewing. This machine stops if your thread breaks, which is very handy because you don't want it to keep sewing. However, you can actually go backwards and avoid it from skipping any steps. So this little thing down here, the minus, actually moves your stitches back so you can go over it, so you can't tell there's a gap in the stitching. The reveal. Let's see. I think I've got it. Looking pretty good. Could have been a little bit closer, but when you're wearing it, you will never see it, and I'm so pleased. Now, I was wondering if I should put something in the gap, but I think it's done. For all those little threads that need to go, tweezers are the way to get right to the point, and it just makes you so much more agile in getting right to the edge. It's very handy. Now you always always want to neaten up the inside, so I'm just going to show you how I cut away all the fusing. I just peel back what's stuck on, that glue will wash off, and just snip carefully around. You don't have to go into every tiny little nook and cranny, because that will give it its stability if you just leave a little bit of an edging, but just go around the borders kind of thing. My little sister loves geishas, and I seriously think she's going to love this. It is so pretty. Now the front compared to the back was a little plain, so I was starting to think I might have to add something, and I saw a little bit of the excess fabric I had chopped off the bottom to crop the t-shirt, and I was thinking maybe a pocket might fit, a front pocket. So here's me trying to squeeze it into that frame. Now the frame has these little notches just to indicate that your grain line should be in line, so just make sure that it is, otherwise your pocket will look funny. I'm just picking a little design to go on the pocket just to give it some more detail. I'm just marking the pocket out by eye because when you've got a ready-made garment, it's already hanging and sitting, so you really want to see that it's square on the mannequin. You can see just at the top here that my fabric did not fit on the frame, but you can see by my trial and error it will work if it's got some structure to it. So the sides were really tight. Now I'm just going to cut my pocket square out. Again, I just did this by eye. So you want to start by folding the top down, double rolled. I just give it a quick press. It just makes it easier to sew. You first want to start by sewing the top of your pocket down. So you top stitch your double rolled hem just to hold that and get it neatly. And then I actually flip it over and do the other side to add a double row of stitching. I find it easier to go around the pocket first, doing your first top stitch just on the pocket. So that's what I'm doing here, just folding it down, getting it all in line and just doing an edge stitch. So a foot's width away, going all the way around. Now I forgot to do this at the other corner, but you actually flip down the inner corner and it just stops it from popping out at the top of the pocket. It's heaps neater. So now it's time to grab your shirt and pin it on, doing your edge stitch all the way around except for the top. I always start by doing a little bar tack first, just gives it a lot of strength at the corners, obviously where there's a lot of strain from where you put your hand in. Then I go around, it really does make a big difference. And there she is, finito. I probably would have liked a different pattern on the pocket, but you know what? It looks great. She's gonna love it. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to keep up with what we're doing, check us out on Insta.